Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for joining me on week 8 of TOEFL IBT writing. So this week, I am going to emphasize more on paraphrasing through examples, and I am using an article, Energy Walks by Robert Thayer. You may have read this article with your reading section. If not, I'm giving you exposing you to the article anyway. And followed by that, I'm going to do a little bit more of a different part of paraphrasing, and then you will have your homework. I did check with you previously, and I said that if it's okay for students that wants to take part in reading part of the information that I am presenting. So tonight is one of those ones that if you want, you can participate. You just have to put your hands up, and then I will select a person and you can read it. But if you don't, that's okay. No pressure. I'm happy to continue the session myself. I just wants to make my lesson a little bit more interactive, give you guys opportunity to practice your pronunciations, etc., etc. So does anyone wants to try reading? Okay. Mashallah, I've got three. Good. So these three people and fourth one came on board. Excellent. So the very first one that came into um, uh, my view was Farawar Siddiqui. So I'll give the first portion to Farawar Siddiqui. Then it's going to be Malala Yazad, followed by Safiya Sadat, and then Shala Azad. If there is anybody else, I'm happy to come back. And there's plenty. There's plenty for you guys to practice reading. I will just prompt and you will start. So as soon as I go to the next slide, for our Siddiqui, it is going to be your job. And the good thing is it's live. You did not have copy of my presentation before, so nobody can say practice somebody had previous advantage or etc. So let's start, inshallah, in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for our Siddiqui, you are going to start reading. So this is an example of paraphrasing, followed by when I do the reading, I'll give it to somebody else. So could you please read? I will be quiet.
Salaam alaikum, teacher. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Paraphrase practice example. In 1610, Galileo Galilei published a small book describing an astronomical observations that had made above skies above Padua. His homemade telescopes had less magnifying and resolving power than most beginners' telescopes sold today. Yet with them, he made astonishing discoveries that the moon has mountains and other uh, topographical features. That Jupiter is orbited by satellites, which he called planets, and that the Milky Way is made up of individual stars from David Owen, the dark side making war on light pollution, the New Yorker on 20 August 2007, 28.
Thank you very much. Well done. So this is a very short article that you read, and on the next slide, there's two paraphrasing of the same paragraph. So can you also please read both response for me? Thank you.
Possible responses. Galileo was able to make some amazing discoveries with his telescope. He made discoveries about the moon, about Jupiter, and about the Milky Way. He was able to do this with a telescope that was less powerful than even today's most basic telescopes. Or in 1610, Galileo Galilei wrote a short book about what he saw in the sky above Ponda using his homemade telescopes. Even though his telescopes weren't as powerful as basic ones today, he made incredible discoveries. Galileo found out that the moon has mountains and other features. Jupiter is surrounded by satellites, he called them planets, and the Milky Way is made up of the individual stars. This information comes from David Owen's article, The Dark Side Making War on Light Pollution, published in New Yorker on August 2007. I'm so sorry.
That's perfectly fine. Thank you. Well done. So the next slide I am displaying, but if you remember, we said that the next part that is you're going to be reading was going to be done by, if I remember correctly, I think it was Malalai.
Yes.
Yes, please. Go ahead, please.
Sure. Reading article Energy Box by Robert E. Thayer. Recently, I met one of my students at a candy machine on our college campus. He told me he was about to attend a long and boring lecture and needed his favorite sweet to stay alert. I suggested that he join me for a brisk walk instead. When we returned, he thanked me for the tip. As he left for the lecture hall, he said he felt great. Another one of my students suffered badly from test anxiety. She knew of my work on the psychology of mood and asked me for help because she had an important exam coming up. I suggested she take a 10-minute walk, uh, moderately fast-paced but not exhausting. Before the test, she took the advice and later reported that she aced the exam. I have been doing research for many years on the mood change that occur with short, rapid walks. My la- um, my latest findings clearly indicates that brisk 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 walks increase people's feeling of energy, sometimes for several hours. They are a more effective and less fattening pick and less fattening pick me up than a candy bar and can reduce tension and make personal problems appear less serious. These changes can be subtle, but repeated over time, they become very apparent. Uh, Short walks may even make it easier to quit smoking.
Okay, so I'm just going to change it to the next slide and you can
Okay.
continue.
I learned of these effects from several experiments with young or middle-aged people who were in fairly good shape. In an early experiment, I had a group of college students sit for a few minutes and rate their feelings of energy and tension using a short checklist. They then joined me for a moderately fast 10-minute walk around the campus. We returned and sat down, and within 5 minutes, people completed the checklist again. People felt more energetic and less tired following the walk. Later, I repeated this procedure with people who walked on the treadmill in bare walked room to make sure the mood shift was not due to a stroll through the attractive campus surroundings. Again, the energizing effect held true. Other aspects of the research made it clear that mood change did not occur because people expected walking would make them feel better. It was the walk itself that was responsible. Cardiologist James Reeb has also found that walking, especially a 3 mile walk, reduced people's anxiety and tension as well as blood pressure. My next step was to discover how long the energies mood lasted. This time, people walked on a number of occasions during a 3 week period. Each time they rated their energy and tension levels, then walked briskly for 10 minutes and repeated the rating several times during the following 2 hours. As part of the experiment, I compared walking to the effects of eating a sugar snack. I had people eat an average-sized candy bar instead of taking the walk. The immediate mood change from the candy bar was similar to the effect of walking increased energy. But 1 hour after some negative changes began to show up. People felt more tired, a lot more tense. The tension was gone after 2 hours.
Okay, continue,
Other
please.
researchers Other researchers have found that eating sugar can cause fatigues, perhaps because it leads to higher level of neurotransmitter serotonin in the brain, which acts as a sedative seafood for thought. Psychology Today, April 1988. I found that the first reaction to sugar is enhanced energy, and fatigue seems to occur half an hour to an hour later. These may explain why people who ate candy bars subsequently felt tense. The sugar, after providing a short burst of energy, eventually caused fatigue. People felt tired but were not able to sleep. It was during the day and they were busy, which made them tense. The people who walked enjoy an energy boost, avoided the effects of a sugar sedative, and didn't experience tension later on. Sorry, miss. Can I stop, please?
Yes, of course.
It was
Are
a
you
lot.
tired?
Um, I'm thirsty. Just I can continue.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's okay. Whoever was the next person, can you continue, please? Can somebody else start, please?
Yeah, okay. I think it is me.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay. It was her short. Short, rapid walks can also help make personal problems appear less serious and increase optimism. Haven't heard to an hour later, during the course of 3 weeks, one group of people rapidly assesses the severity of continuing personal problems such as marital troubles or a stubborn weight problem. Another group rated their level of optimism. In addition to completing this reading at fixed times each day, people in both groups took a brisk 10-minute walk. After the walk, a chronic personal problem appeared less serious. The walk also increased general optimism. These improvements were small and were not noticeable every day, but after 3 weeks the difference became obvious. Walking product produces some interesting psychological effects. According to the studies currently underway by various graduate students and myself, one especially important benefit may be for cigarette smokers who are trying to cut down or quit. Since people often smoke to increase their energy or reduce tension, we have asked smokers to take 5-minute walks before they light up. So for the results, as impressive, following a walk smokers wait 2 minutes longer than uh, non-walking smokers do between cigarettes during free smoking periods. And those who report the greatest energy increases from the walk with the longest to smoke the next cigarette. Walking is, of course, very good physical exercise. Beyond that, it feels good to walk, and at moderate walking speeds, those good feelings occur right away. Try it after you have been sitting for a while. Keep your posture erect but otherwise relaxed. Swing your arm freely and breathe naturally. You don't have to be a decided athlete to walk, nor do you need to invest a lot of time in many. 10 minutes should do it, and the benefits, both mental and physical, should last a lot longer.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the reading part of the article was quite long, and thank you all for your patience and making the session a little bit different and interactive. So then now from here onward is about how this reading article we can present it as an essay using paraphrasing. Remember, the whole idea of our lesson last week and this week is that when we read something and if we are being asked to paraphrase this as an essay or review this reading article, that is what the aim is. So paraphrasing is what we said, and so I'm going to give you some examples of paraphrasing, and obviously what I have done is the same essay, the same reading article has been written by 3 different students and different scores. So whoever we picked up the name, could you please be ready when I click on the next slide, and you're going to be now reading one of the essay. And this essay has a score 28 out of 30, so it's quite high, and it is something that I guess you and I and each one of us want to be writing something like this. So go ahead, please.
Okay, of course, sample is a 28 to 30 score. The article Energy Walks by Robert E. Thayer highlights the psychological and physical benefits of brisk walking. There is research demonstrates that short, rapid walks can significantly boost energy levels, reduce tension, and improve mood. Through experiments with young and middle-aged participants, he found that a 10 minutes walk provided a healthier and longer lasting energy boost compared to consuming a candy bar. His studies showed that the energizing effects of walking lasted for several hours, unlike the temporary lift from sugary snacks, which often lead to fatigue and tension after an hour. Tears research compared to the mood effects of walking versus eating sugar snacks. Although both activities initially increase energy, the candy bar caused a subsequent crash, likely due to the elevated serotonin levels, which act as a sedative. In contrast, walking provided an immediate energy boost without the negative aftermath associated with sugar intake. These findings underscore the psychological advantages of brisk walking as a healthier alternative to sugar treats.
Thank you very much. So notice that this essay that was just read to you or presented to you is just only an examples of paraphrasing. Here, it is not showing my opinion, your opinion, the student's opinion in this. Just simply rewording, paraphrasing the reading articles. Now, if this was supposed to be your a typical essay for TOEFL IBT, then they would give you the reading articles and they might be asking you is to present your own opinion. In that case, then we would present this, but after each point, we will also put our opinion. But on this, for this example, I didn't want to go into opinion because I really want you to concentrate on paraphrasing. You already understood what do we mean when essay is asking for our opinion, or when an essay is asking for reading article compared to the professor or to the lecturer opinion. So here, my emphasis is to keep on practicing paraphrasing. Paraphrasing here has got nothing to do with our opinion, anybody else's, so it is presented to you based on what I explained last time, and I'll give you an example. So I want the next student that put up her hand to do the next examples of the essay, and this example, oh sorry, it's still continued. My bad. Continue, please.
Okay.
Anybody wants
Simple,
to?
easy.
Yes, go on, please.
Okay. Moreover, they explored the longer-term impacts of walking. Over a 3-week period, participants who took constant brisk walks reported reduced tension and improved mood. The personal problems appearing less serious and overall optimist increasing. The article also highlights the potential benefits of walking for smokers trying to quit. And ongoing studies, smokers who walk brief walks before lighting a cigarette delayed their next smoke significantly longer than those who didn't walk. In conclusion, there's finding present compelling evidence that short, brisk walks offer both immediate and um, pro- um, prolonged, prolonged, uh, prolonged mental health benefits. Walking is a simple, accessible activity that can enhance energy levels, reduce anxiety, and promote overall well-being. The article encourages readers to incorporate brisk walks into their daily routines to enjoy lasting physical and psychological advantages.
Thank you. So that was the example
So,
of the essay that is scored 28 out of 30. This slide is telling you why it is scored 28 out of 30, because of the word count, because it demonstrated a good understanding of the article, and the paraphrasing was nice and clear. The analysis made sense to us we are reading. To make it 30, probably some of the words may have been changed further, but I guess 28 is as close as one can get to perfect score. Now, this is essay number 2. Same topic, and who wants to
I
read it?
want,
Yes,
sorry.
please go ahead.
Yeah, in the name of Allah, simple essay, one analyze. This essay demonstrates a slight understanding of the reading article, provide clear paraphrasing and analyze. It would likely score between 28 up to 30, 284 word count. Simple essay 2. In the article Energy Walk by Robert E. the author explore the psychological benefit of short, basic work on individual mode and energy level. Their recount instance in sentence where he recommended a work to student facing long, monotonous, monotonous lecture or intense test anxiety. The result were striking, with student reporting increased alertness and improved exam performance after engaging in the basic brisk 10-minute walk. The research delved into the immediate uh, and prolonged effect of walking on mood and energy. He conducted experiment with young and middle-aged individual, finding that a short walk could provide a more effective and healthier energy boost compared to consuming a candy bar. The ener, 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 energizing effect of walking persisted for several hours, contributing to reduced tension and a more positive outlook on personal problem. Continue. The study also compared the effect of walking to consuming a sugar snack, while both initially increased energy. The sugar snack led to subsequent fatigue and tension, possibly due to elevated certain level acting as a sedative. In contrast, working on only provided on immediate energy boost, but also avoided the negative consequence associated with sugar intake. Their research future explored the duration of the energized mm, um, the energized that repeated basic work over the 3-week period consistently improved energy level and reduced tension. The benefit extend beyond the immediate impact, indicating that incorporating short walks into one's return could lead to sustained positive effect. Sorry, I can't see very well because I read in the slide. The article
That's okay.
emphasized
You're doing
the
good. You're
psychological
doing
benefit
good.
of walking, including making personal problem appear less over and increasing overall optimism. Mm, their notes on going steady on the psychological effect of walking with particular attention to its potential benefit for suggested smoker attempting attempting to cut down or quit. Pri, preliminary result suggests that smokers who engage in short work experience extended in travel between during free smoking period In conclusion, energy work by robot there provide a compelling evidence for the positive impact of short brisk walk on mood, energy level, and overall well-being. Uh, the article encourage reduce the article encourage reduce and embrace walking as on accessible, accessible and beneficial for the physical activity, highlighting its immediate and listening to listing advantage for both mental and physical health.
Thank you
So
very
sorry, I
much.
read in screen in mobile. That's so small. I
That's
can.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I apologize. You're doing very good. Thank you. Could somebody else do the next slide, please? So this is analysis on slide number 2. Slide number 2 is scored 25 out of 30. Does anybody want to read it, or do you want me to discuss it?
Could I read the teacher?
Anybody wants to read?
Which slide, teacher? Sorry.
Okay, slide slide number 15.
Sample ET2
Sample essay
analysis.
2 analysis.
Okay, in the name of Allah. Score 25 out of 30. Strengths. The essay covers key findings from the article and maintains a formal tone. It presents a clear structure with an instruction, body, and conclusion. The paraphrasing captures the essence of the research without directly copying. Areas for improvement. First, detail and specificity. Some sections could include more precise details from Tyer's experiments. Example, specific timelines for mood change after walking or consuming sugar. Second, conciseness. The essay could be more concise by eliminating redundant phrases while retaining clarity. 3 examples. Adding direct examples from the article example, the impact on smokers or individuals with personal problems would make the analysis more thorough.
Thank you very much. So this is telling us that why this essay is called 25 and not 28. So 28 was the top, and this at 25 is actually a good score too. So just telling you that why it is scored better and where it could improve. Now this is essay number 3. So the score of this one is, for me, is quite low, but it's typical, and it is scoring 15 out of 18. And does anybody wants to read this?
Read.
Yes, it's my turn, I think.
Okay, go on, please. It's quite long, so I might give it to a few people. So could I have Farar Siddiqui? Can you put your hands down? And then I will be able to share this between 3 students, or maybe 4 now. Another one comes up. Inshallah, there will be something for everybody to read. So go on, Parveen. After Parveen, it's going to be Idayatullah and Farid Ahmed. 3 of you, I'll give you opportunity to read, inshallah.
In the name of
Go
Allah,
on, please.
simple essay 3, 15 up to 18 out of 30 score. The article by Robert E. Tyre talks about how walking is good for you. It says that if people walk fast for 10 minutes, they feel better. For example, one student went for a walk before class and felt great. Another student took a walk before a test and did better. The writer also did experiments to see how walking makes people feel. People sat down and said how they felt. Then they went for a walk, and after they walked, they felt better. He even made people walk on a treadmill, and they still felt good.
Tyler says walking works better than candy. Eating candy makes you feel good at first, but later you feel tired and tense. Walking makes people feel good for hours without making them tired later. He also says that walking can help people solve personal problems and feel more optimistic. Smokers who walk wait longer to smoke again. Walking is easy and you don't need special clothes or equipment. He says everyone should try walking for 10 minutes to feel better.
Thank you very much. So one of the gentlemen, I want you to read the next slide from me, please, and for the class.
Shall I read them, teacher?
Yes, please.
Okay, sample essay number 4 actually, 12 out
Yes.
of 15. It's a score from 13. In the article Energy Walks, Robert Tyler says walking is better than eating candy to feel good. He tells a story about a student who was going to eat candy, but he said to walk instead and the student felt better. Another student took a walk before a test and passed it. Tyre said test with a student and they feel better after walking. He even made them walk on a treadmill and they still feel better. He says walking makes people feel good for hours. Tyre also said that people with problems feel better after a walk. Smokers smoker walk smokers walk and wait longer to smoke again. Candy makes you feel good for a short time, but then it makes you tired and tense. Walking is free and easy, and it helps people feel good. He says everyone should walk for 10 minutes because it helps them feel good without making them tired later. Oversimplification. The essay simplifies the content too much, omitting key experimental details and insights. Generalized statements. Several statements lack specificity and fail to provide adequate support from the reading passage. Shall I read other one or not?
Thank you. Thank you very much. So this was in one session, I managed to give you the very detailed article and followed by 4 examples and different scores. And inshallah, at your own time, I want you to read this again and try to analyze it and try to see, even if you wanted to, for your own sake, for practice, see if you want to work at each essay and see if you can get a score of 30 out of 30 out of it. And you can do that, and I'll discuss a little bit more in a few minutes. I want the next slide to be presented by somebody else completely. So who didn't do any reading today? So those of you who read, can you put your hands down, please?
Would I read there, teacher?
So the only one who hasn't done is Idatullah and Farid. Am I correct?
Can I read there, teacher?
Oh, you already did it? You did? So who hasn't done then? Everybody has done? Okay. Farid Ahmad, that is your
So
job.
I want to
So
read it, but I want to read again. Okay, this. Thank you.
no worries.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Passive
I'm
voice,
so
active voice.
nice. I'll let you enjoy it. Go. This has got
Yeah.
nothing to do. So this slide has got
Yeah.
nothing to do with uh, the reading article or the essay, but normally when you are reviewing, you could use passive or active voice. So here is about passive and active. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Passive voice, active voice. Active voice emphasize who or what is performing the action. Example, the team designed the model. Passive voice emphasize the action or the recipient of the action. For example, the model was designed by team. Passive voice is useful when the door of an known irrelevant or less important than the action itself. For most essay, especially in community or social science activity is performable, preferable because it promote clarity and precision. However, perceives appropriate in specific context, such as specific report or when emphasizing the action over the actor.
Thank you. All right, so this slide was talking
Example.
about use of passive and active. The next slide is going to give example. So I'm just going to look to see if somebody else wants to have a go at reading the examples. Who wants to read the examples? Anybody did not do any reading tonight? Or, sorry, I said tonight because in here it's tonight. For you, it's afternoon. Okay, so I'm actually going to give it to Farar Siddiqui. Farar Siddiqui, you're going to be reading the next slide.
Okay, can you switch to the other slide,
Yes.
please?
Yes, give me a second. There, that's yours. So there's two examples with of the original sentences, plus they've been paraphrased. Go ahead, please.
In the name of the original sentence, the researchers conducted the experiment to test the hypothesis. Paraphrased, the experiment was carried out by the researchers to evaluate the hypothesis. The scientists conducted multiple experiments to verify the results. The experiment was conducted to test the hypothesis. It belongs to the first one, and the others, the latters, belong to the second example. The results were verified by the scientists through multiple experiments, and the last one, but not least, multiple experiments were conducted to verify the results.
Thank you. Well done. I am so happy with every one of you. So thank you so much. And that brings us to the final part, which is going to be your homework. So I will do the homework myself. And as usual, I have done your homework in two parts. And for those of you who do both parts, thank you so much. For those of you who are being, I don't know why, what to say, some of you decide to do only one part and ignore the small part. I don't say anything, but it's beneficial. I do this homeworks for a reason. You should do both parts. So part one of your homework, I have given you 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences. So these are the original sentences. And I want you to paraphrase using active and passive for both. Now, if you want to do a little bit outside of the box, go and make a comment that which one should be the preferred. You probably will, you have to do active and passive for both because you can. But you should also make a comment as to, is active the preferred, should be the preferred, or the passive, and why? Based on what we have just done tonight, because one of the points I gave you specifically is in terms of essay, when should we use active and when we should use passive. But you will never be penalized why you use reverse. So that be assured that there's no wrong or right, but if you do, it's better obviously for a better score. So part one, I've given you 4 sentences and you're going to paraphrase it using active and passive voice for each. And if you want to get bonus mark, then go ahead and tell me, identify that which one should be the preferred active passive. How you want to do it, it's up to you, whether you want to add another column or you want to put a star or you want to make sentence. I'll leave that to you. Now that brings us to the final part, the main part of my homework, and that is I'm giving you a reading article, and that is in a link. So once again, you need to go and click on the link based on the example that I walked you through and I provided, and my lovely students, you walked us through the examples. So use those examples as guides, and I want you to write a 280 to 300 word essay, analyze the reading article. So it's not about your opinion, it's not about my opinion, it's about paraphrasing the reading articles. And I'm hoping that you would really read this essay. For those of you who are missing and not joining me live, yes, I am guilty for not coming on live at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, but that's nothing I can do. So therefore, I'm hoping that for those students, you will be listening, you'll be watching the YouTube recording, and you'll be doing your homework. And as usual, that's my email, and you're going to send it to my email. Any question? If you have any question, please ask your question now. And if you don't have a question, no questions.
Teacher, I have a
Farida
question.
on this app. For our Siddiqui, you're on this app. Hidayatullah, you're not on this app. Do you have questions?